Blondus, local like you. 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 Blondus, local like you.
Yeah, done. Okay, so we have sound.
All you
now.
do is now add thing
Add
to
it
the
here.
scoreboard.
Yeah, or here I might have it in here actually.
You have it there, look.
Yeah, perfect.
Is that alright?
Yep, perfect.
Get rid of this before you send over.
Yeah.
Can I tell them to go, so?
Let's check we actually have sound.
I'll check it over here if you like.
Yeah,
We have we?
Yeah.
Kino, go, you're on the. Sorry about that. I'll leave you too, so.
Sure.
I'm running. Tell me when this is facing.
Yep, that's good there. Your phone is ringing.
Thank you. Bye.
Apologies about the sound issues here on a blustery afternoon at Eamonn Deacy Park. Westport on the attack in the 12th minute. Owen Whelan puts the right winger Phil Keegan under pressure, and following a brief conference involving the assistant and referee Paul Kilcoyne, a corner kick has been awarded for the Mayo team. Significant history, as we mentioned previously, the two clubs have been involved in two previous Connacht Cup Finals, Junior Cup Finals 1975, when Mike Murphy was the hero for West. Lost to Westport in 1987, featuring a young Joe O'Toole, as Ian McAllister goes over to take a corner kick for Westport United, who commenced their Super League season in Mayo.
Mark, you stay on the goal there.
Always a good outfit at this level. Westport as McAllister will deliver right footed into the west area, headed by centre half. Joe Lawless taken off the line by Richard Avani from the follow-up. Sean Tagg's effort is high, it's not too handsome. The significant scare there, the clearest opening of the game so far in West. Really decisively following that set piece delivery from McAllister. Early exchanges were encouraging for West United. Started well. Rory Patsy prominent in the centre of the park alongside the experienced Barry McEntee, as John Potter, the West United goalkeeper, places the ball carefully on Joel Kilcoyne's immaculate pitch here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Eamonn Deacy surely watching down from above. Previous footballer Tabor Hill from Galway. Potter takes it, taken on by Jasper Fish for Westport. McEntee gets it under control, feeds Gary Matthews, who's wide on the right. Throw in for Westport. Matthews not happy with the decision. Huge blast to the whistle as it were to Matthews. Two of the more happening down below, but it will be a throw in to the Mayo team.
Will you do that for a second?
Huh?
Will you do that for a
Yeah.
second?
But I was going to put an extension cable
Oh, guys, I just want to see if it'll.
and then stick it into the Mac mic.
Nice exchange of passes with the centre forward Darren Brown goes back to Joe Lawrence. He goes across to Sean Tag. Tag goes into the midfield looking for Jack Murphy and fed out to right forward Mikey O'Brien, who has showing good pace here in exchanges, but Nathan Ward puts it down the line towards Jay McPhilbin. McPhilbin under pressure from Tag, dispossessed with a strong centre half. Tries to get the ball from back to front quickly. Dribbles through to John Cotter, the Claddagh man who's in goals for West United. Exchange with Galway Hibernian to John Cotter. Figure on the stage. He waits for Brown to come in. Under the pressure. Out here from John Cotter. Really just three conditions here. Hangs the Eamonn Deacy Park there. Running ball well. Here should be pushed by Joe Lawless. Barry McEntee stands over the ball. Very solid operator, Barry McEntee, for West United for many seasons. Played previously in the League of Ireland with Review United. McEntee goes along, corners and advances, but experienced Westport goalkeeper Gary Cunningham gathered and he goes from back to front quickly over the There's a danger to Nathan Ward. Nathan Ward. Ronan Caldwell back to Nathan Ward. Rory Casserly looking for Ward, but it's cut out by right back Mikey O'Brien. O'Brien into Jack Murphy. Westport can pass the ball. Casserly puts the centre half. Lawless under pressure. Eventually spills out to Frisch on the left hand side. He gives it back to fullback McDonough, but Keith Lee comes across, deals with the situation to Rory Casserly. Casserly back to Barry McEntee. McEntee looking for the run of Gary Matthews, who advances on the right, but unfortunately the ball is slightly overhit and it will be a throw-in for Westport United here as referee Kilcoyne checks on Nathan Ward's well-being, and Nathan Ward is okay to continue. Good to see Nathan Ward back, and a key figure for West United following injury and illness. Nathan Ward scored vital goals against Hibernians and against Carbery in the previous rounds, and good to see Nathan back in action in the green and white hoops. Jay McPhilbin gets the ball under control, does well to buy a bit of space. Jay McPhilbin hits the deck, but no free awarded. Rory Casserly, strong player, but has his pocket picked there by Darren Brown. Brown to Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy shows a nice bit of skill to get it wide to the right full. Mikey O'Brien, he goes down the line looking for Darren Brown. Owen Whelan, the clear man. His attempted clearance blocked by Darren Brown, and it'll be a throw in near the corner flag to be taken by Owen Whelan, who has been a key figure for West United for the past number of seasons. Huge and significant history involving these two clubs. As we mentioned previously, the Connacht Junior Cup Finals of 75 and 87 also played in around the 2009 mark, as Gary Matthews does well to buy a bit of space. Gary Matthews drives into Westport territory. However, the experienced centre half Joe Lawless dashes across, gives the ball safely back to Gary Cunningham, who clears, and he looks for centre forward Darren Brown. However, Dennis Lydon, formerly of East United and Hibernians, gives it back to Keith Lee, who clears it high and long. Ball put back into West United territory again. Lee heads it down to Barry McEntee, and Barry McEntee gives the ball to Owen Whelan. Whelan looking for Jay McPhilbin, who will run the channels. McPhilbin, an honest and always willing to work for his team. Fortunately, he's out-muscled there on that occasion by Sean Tagg, and Westport will build from the back again. The ball now at the feet of Joe Lawless. Lawless, as Owen Conway looks for a short pass, but it's given to McAllister. McAllister back to Cunningham. Lawless again, and he's plenty of time and space. Very blustery conditions here at Eamonn Deacy Park, and Gary Matthews had a spell playing underage football with Galway United, and Matthews looks for Ronan Caldwell. Caldwell as Cunningham advances. Caldwell's shot blocked by the feet of the advancing Gary Cunningham, and that was a good opportunity for West. Clearest chance that the Galway outfit have had so far, as Darren Brown gets the ball under control, gives it to right full Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien to Cian McAllister. McAllister's attempted pass blocked by Barry McEntee, but a good chance there, Patsy, for West United. Ronan Caldwell got clear, but a fine save from the advancing goalkeeper Gary Cunningham.
Should have scored, I thought. A good chance, but overall it's fairly even Steven so far, and they're both attempting to play some good football. It's good to watch. Good to watch, undoubtedly, Patsy. What a huge figure in the West United story. The O'Connor family have been one of the many families in the West that have contributed so handsomely. Patsy and his brother Michael throughout the years
when West United were a famed underage team many decades ago, that was chiefly due to the O'Connor brothers, and several League of Ireland footballers will testify to that. Stephen Lally frequently mentions Michael O'Connor bringing him to games along with several other young West United players, and the service that the O'Connor families amongst other have provided to West United is invaluable. That's the story of West United, a story of families, a story of pride, a story of passion, and how they would dearly love to add to their couple of Connacht Junior Cup titles. Getting to the semi-final is a good achievement for Rodney Grant, another family synonymous with the West United story. The Grants, as Frisch gets the ball into the west area, but Nathan Ward is the coolest man in Eamonn Deacy Park. He lets the ball drift harmlessly wide, and John Cotter will take the goal kick for West United, the Claddagh custodian. Cotter looks up. Eamonn Deacy Park in immaculate condition as ever. Noel Connolly, the groundsman, I can see him sat in the tunnel on the far side of the ground. Takes dutiful care of the surface here in immaculate condition as Ronan Caldwell is beaten in the air by Sean Tagg towards Darren Brown. Brown to McAllister, but Rory Casserly, lively midfielder, drives into the Westport half, releases Jay McPhilbin. McPhilbin has a bit of space. McPhilbin to Ronan Caldwell, but a fine tackle from Joe Lawless denies the Callanan footballer Ronan Caldwell. Hugely influential figure for West United. Ronan Caldwell has experience in the League of Ireland too. Chief pity is that his time with Galway United came at a time when Galway United were in their lowest ebb. Can remember Ronan Caldwell, another man that played for West United, Eric Holland. They both featured in that cruel season for Galway United when times were particularly tough, but it was such a pity that Ronan Caldwell and Eric Holland didn't get an opportunity to play for Galway United when things were a little bit healthier for the League of Ireland club in the West. But Caldwell nonetheless has been a key figure for Rodney Grant's team in recent years, as Rory Casserly emerging as a important player too, gives it to Barry McEntee out to Owen Whelan down the line to Nathan Ward appeared to be fouled. Referee Kilcoyne waves play on and Westport break. Centre forward Darren Brown, 25 yards from the goal, digs out a good shot, and it's gathered at the second attempt by John Cotter, who gets a pat on the head from Keith Lee. Cotter bounces the ball and kicks it right footed. Nathan Ward heads it on with Westport right full, Mikey O'Brien in close control. Rodney Grant there in the technical area alongside Mark McPhilbin, Sean O'Dowd, Shane Batty O'Flaherty, and the distinctive figure of Jody Kern, another man who has given huge service to West United. Always good and fun to see Jody. Son Darren played with West too. Jody Kern, a great figure for West United as Lawless gets it out to Mark McDonough to Frisch to Owen Conway dispossessed by Rory Casserly, and a good intervention from Owen Whelan. He has a bit of pace, appeared to be fouled by Jack Murphy. Rodney Grant not happy with that decision in the technical area. Rodney though will be relatively satisfied with how West have settled in this game, because the conditions are demanding for those of you watching at home and elsewhere. Flags behind the clubhouse end howling furiously. The conditions are tricky, even if the pitch is in splendid condition, as Mixer Devaney breaks on the right. Devaney goes down the line to Gary Matthews. Matthews can't get it under control. Devaney heads on. Matthews though does well. Amazing little dribble from Gary Matthews. Good skill from the right winger. His left footed shot is eventually gathered by Gary Cunningham, but nice work on the right there from Gary Matthews, who wriggled into the Westport area, and that was a reminder of the trickery of Gary Matthews, who had a spell playing some underage football with Galway United, as McAllister gets possession from Gary Cunningham, the Westport skipper. Cunningham to Joe Lawless left footed towards Owen Conway. Owen Conway feeds it back to Sean Tagg. Two big imposing centre halves Westport have, but Tagg, his attempted pass well gathered by Jason McPhilbin, who looks for Ronan Caldwell, but Tagg sensed the danger, gives it back to Cunningham to Lawless. And the real blustery conditions at Eamonn Deacy Park. Strange to have no spectators. Obviously the game was set for O'Connor Park in the swamp. It would have been nice to have several hundred people there. West's famous home, always backed by a vociferous support. Passionate venue as ever, the swamp. Many important games took place there down through the years. Rodney Grant, the man who was barking instructions on the far side, scored a famous goal in the venue against Drayden Foxford to win a Connacht Senior Cup 1993, if my memory serves me correctly. I remember Rodney's splendid free kick won the game for West on that occasion as Westport. Mixer Devaney does well under pressure from Darren Brown. Devaney gets the ball away, added to by Casserly, who finds Jay McPhilbin. McPhilbin though can't hold the ball with tag in close proximity. It comes to Nathan Ward. Careful pass from Ward to Caldwell. Casserly clears the danger, but Westport goalkeeper Gary Cunningham to Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien down the line looking for Philip Keegan, but Owen Whelan nips in, and it will be a throw in near in front of the Westport technical area. Be taken by the right back Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien waiting instruction from referee Paul Kilcoyne. Keegan back to O'Brien. O'Brien inside to Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy looks for Owen Conway at the back stick. Conway just can't get the ball under control, and that was a threatening situation. It'll be a goal kick eventually for West United, but Conway, he's drifting into pockets of space. Darren Brown is operating as centre forward. Conway dropping into the midfield, but also is willing to get forward for the Mayo Super League team. Westport with a real proud and rich tradition in the junior game in Sligo, and they have a prominent and distinguished record in the Connacht and national fields too. So they have hit the West here, would usually be backed by large travelling numbers too, and it's a pity that in normal times you would have several hundred at this fixture. We hope those tuning in are enjoying the match, which is brought to you because of the excellent work of Vincent O'Connor and his team here, Mark McDonough, Robbie Crosby and Stephen Nocton, who are working ever so hard in the background to ensure that people can watch football from Eamonn Deacy Park. McAllister gets into the area under pressure from Casserly. McAllister tumbles, slight theatrics there from McAllister. He pleads his innocence, but it would have been the softest penalty awarded in many a long year if that had been given. It'll be a throw in on the far side. McAllister though is a busy midfielder, and he will need watching here. His passing range is decent. Nathan Ward to Ronan Caldwell. Barry McEntee, Rory Casserly. Casserly tried to get possession back to Barry McEntee. The throw in quickly taken by Philip Keegan to Mikey O'Brien. O'Brien looking for the centre forward Brown. Caldwell comes in with a good strong challenge. Westport have a moan about it, but Caldwell won the ball. Gary Matthews is overpowered by Joe Lawless on that occasion, and left full Mark McDonough. McDonough gets it into West territory, well headed away by Dennis Lydon. Tag to Lawless. Mikey O'Brien, the right back, plenty of space to drift into, and Mikey O'Brien, right footed, looks up and is going down the line towards Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy hits the deck. Free kick to Westport, perhaps on the soft side, but the only man that counts is referee Paul Kilcoyne, and it'll be a free kick on the far side near the Westport technical area. Left full Mark McDonough goes over to take it. Mark McDonough's namesake here, standing to the left of me, manning one of the cameras, Robbie Crosby on the other camera, Vincent O'Connor and Stephen Nocton. Huge credit must go to them for ensuring this broadcast can go live for West United followers, and of that there are many. McDonough left footed into the West area, clipped away by Owen Whelan, the clear man for West United. Jasper Frisch is under duress from Rory Casserly, and it looks as if it will be a throw in here on the old stand, on the waterwork side of the ground. Be taken by Keith Lee, who will take this throw. And Keith Lee throws it across to Owen Whelan. Whelan to Mixer Devaney. Mixer Devaney, under pressure from Frisch, had no option but to hit it first time as the ball clears the old stand at Eamonn Deacy Park. Mark McPhilbin on the far side kicks in a football. Mark McPhilbin, long time friend of manager Rodney Grant, former West United and Galway Hibernians player. Mark McPhilbin, hugely respected figure in the junior game in Galway, as Rory Casserly comes in, and that's a crunching challenge from Mark McDonagh. Somehow escapes a further caution. Referee Kilcoyne very lenient there. Flying challenge there that the West bench incensed. I see Jody Kern with his arms outstretched on the far side. Somehow referee Kilcoyne rather let that one go. From this vantage point, it seemed a certain free kick to West United that will be taken by Keith Lee. Keith Lee. Ronan Caldwell under pressure from Lawless. Lawless. Strong challenge from Lawless. Free kick to West United by Kilcoyne. Lawless pleads his innocence, but referee Kilcoyne, tempers becoming slightly frayed in the technical areas, but all is okay. It will be a free kick to West United with Nathan Ward and Mixer Devaney close by, but it will be the left foot of Nathan Ward to take. Dennis Lydon is up from the back, as is Keith Lee, Rory Casserly, Ronan Caldwell, Jay McPhilbin and Gary Matthews, all in and around the area. Nathan Ward's delivery will be left footed. Curling delivery, Ronan Caldwell at the back stick, makes a connection. Keith Lee prods the ball home to steer West United 1 to the good here at Eamonn Deacy Park. A fine set piece. Nathan Ward found Caldwell at the back stick. Keith Lee, a good finish. Patsy O'Connor, a fine start for West United here.
Very good against a very strong wind and all that, but good a bit of football there and a good free from young Ward and a good into it, but I was getting a goal.
Patsy O'Connor delighted here up in the gantry. A good start for West United as Keith Lee prods the ball expertly home from close range for West United just after the half hour mark here. And Nathan Ward's left footed set piece found Ronan Caldwell at the back stick. He acrobatically got the ball across the area. Keith Lee, Keith Red as he's known to West United people, steered the ball over the line, and West lead Westport by a 1-0 just past the half hour mark at Eamonn Deacy Park. Eamonn Deacy will certainly be smiling down following that goal as Jay McPhilbin supplies Nathan Ward with a pass. McAllister, the hard working Westward midfielder, sweeps up the danger and receives the ball back from goalkeeper Gary Cunningham. McAllister inside to Sean Tagg. Tagg looking for Joe Lawless. Joe Lawless, left footed, looking for Frisch. He takes it down. Mixer Devaney tries to get in. Mixer Devaney at the second attempt. A good challenge for Mixer Devaney as Frisch has a bit of pace. He makes a challenge on Gary Matthews. It'll be a throw in to Westport. Throw in under the gantry. And Eamonn Deacy Park goes back to Joe Lawless. Lawless across towards Sean Tagg, and Tagg gives it out to Mikey O'Brien in front of the West technical area, where Sean O'Dowd, Jody Kern, Shane Baddy O'Flaherty, Mark McPhilbin and Rodney Grant will be more than satisfied with Keith Lee's opener. Rodney Grant applauds the hard working efforts of his gutsy West United team, who will be eager to reach another Connacht Junior Cup Final. 3 defeats in Connacht Junior Cup Finals, 2 victories, but West have a storied tradition in this competition. Owen Whelan's delivery headed away by Mark McDonagh. Be a throw in for West United. Mixer Devaney handles forward from the back. Referee Kilcoyne tells West to get on with the game, and Mixer Devaney leaves it for Keith Lee. Long throw in from Keith Lee, headed on by Gary Matthews, but Barry McEntee gets it under control, goes back towards Keith Lee, tries to get across into the area, shouts for a corner, but the ball will be a goal kick to be taken by Westport skipper Gary Cunningham. As the interval approaches here, West United will be delighted to lead 1-0 in testing conditions, even though the underfoot conditions are perfect, as Nathan Ward heads the ball forward. Tag knows that J. McPhilbin wasn't too far away and has to go back to Gary Cunningham. Cunningham to Joe Lawless. Joe Lawless towards Owen Conway. Conway back to Lawless. Ronan Caldwell put him under pressure. Keith Lee, good intervention from the goal scorer. Caldwell. Gary Matthews. Matthews looks up. Gary Matthews looking for J. McPhilbin down the line, but Mark McDonough blocked the attempted pass. It'll be a throw in for West United. And Mixer Devaney. Gary Matthews takes to Ronan Caldwell. Back to Rory Casserly. Rory Casserly tries to go down the line. It'll be another throw in to West United. This time it will be taken by Gary Matthews. Matthews to Mixer Devaney. Mixer Devaney digs out a right foot across towards the back stick. Shea McPhilbin header just couldn't make the requisite connection. J. McPhilbin
Could have taken it down.
following smart approach work from Gary Matthews and Mixer Devaney. Tag to Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien down the line looking for Philip Keegan. Philip Keegan is beaten to it by Dennis Lydon, who sensibly puts the ball out towards the Comer stand here at Eamonn Deacy Park, as Sean O'Dowd gives one of the spare footballs to Mikey O'Brien. Sean O'Dowd, physical fitness trainer, man that has given good service as a player and in a coaching capacity to West United. Rory Casserly eventually dispossessed by Jack Murphy. Murphy to Keegan. Murphy gets it back. Fine challenge from Barry McEntee. Nathan Ward to Ronan Caldwell. Caldwell, who won the free kick from which West eventually rattled the Westport net. Keith Lee, the goal scorer. Mixer Devaney breaks on the right. Good work from Mixer Devaney to Gary Matthews. Matthews inside to Ronan Caldwell. Caldwell, his attempted pass is blocked. Darren Brown hits the deck, and somehow referee Kilcoyne yellow cards Mixer Devaney. Seemed to be relatively harmless compared to a challenge that was made some moments ago, but perhaps there was a foul undoubtedly, but a yellow card. Rodney Grant paces the technical area on the far side, has a word with Mark McPhilbin. Don't think the lads were pleased with that decision, however. Kilcoyne, the Sligo official, is the man that matters. There'll be a free kick to be taken by Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien's delivery trickles out over the end line at the car park end of Eamonn Deacy Park. And John Cotter has a word with Mixer Devaney, a word of encouragement for the hard-working West United right full. And it'll be a goal kick to be taken by John Cotter. As the interval approaches here at Eamonn Deacy Park, West will be thrilled to lead by 1-0.
37 minutes.
Patsy O'Connor here tells me 37 minutes have elapsed, 8 minutes before the break. And Patsy O'Connor is one of the happiest men in Eamonn Deacy Park presently, because his beloved West United lead by 1-0. Good header from Mark McDonough, who gets there just ahead of Gary Matthews. Owen Conway back to Mark McDonough. McDonough has no option but to caress the ball along the deck to goalkeeper Cunningham. Tag Joe Lawless. Lawless looking for Brown. Dennis Lydon makes a challenge. Brown at the second attempt gets it under control and looks for Frisch. A good pass from Brown. Frisch though is well dispossessed by Mixer Devaney. Gary Matthews bangs it away. McAllister hooks the ball down towards Mark McDonough. Mark McDonough left foot across. John Cotter comes, fists it away. Rory Casserly can't get the requisite clearance. Keith Lee and Mixer Devaney. Brave challenge from Mixer Devaney. Gary Matthews gets it under control and releases Ronan Caldwell. Caldwell has J. McPhilbin ahead of him. Perhaps drifted offside. He did. The flag goes up. And there can be few complaints. J. McPhilbin just drifted offside. He was offside, 3 yards. Patsy O'Connor reckons was the distance, but it was a good area and good work from Mixer Devaney and Gary Matthews to fashion that opportunity as Frisch tries to get towards the end line. Keith Lee is over there, and Keith Lee makes a good block, seems to deflect off Frisch, and referee Paul Kilcoyne immediately points towards the West United posts to signal a goal kick. And that brief scare for the Galway outfit as Alan Ashley Beattie, the West United chairman, walks behind the goal. Alan Beattie, another one of the families, the Beattie family, Conor Beattie, their brother Gary, great West United people. Conor served as player and administrator for many years, and Alan Ashley Beattie, the current chairman, was a lovely left-footed player for West United in his day, but now is the chairman, keeping everything under control, and a hard-working executive alongside people such as William Grant and Thomas Griffin, another key person in the West United story. Thomas Griffin, the treasurer of West United and a coach in the underage academy, and only for people such as the Beatties and Thomas Griffin, his brother Robert, another ex-West United player. They're the families that have kept the famous Green and White club alive. 75 years this year. It would mean so much to people were West to contest a Connacht Junior Cup Final even in these bizarre times. McAllister right-footed into the West area, cleared away by Dennis Lydon. McAllister nips in again, hooks it down the line towards Keegan. Keegan out-muscled by Owen Whelan. Whelan left-footed, gets the ball down the line. J. McPhilbin puts tag under pressure. J. McPhilbin unlucky not to get a touch on the ball, and tag shows good brute strength to work the ball across to central defensive partner Lawless. McAllister buys a bit of space in the centre of the park. McAllister looking for Frisch. Cotter comes from the line and does well. It'll be a goal kick for West United as the ball clears the wall, and John Cotter will bring it safely back into the area to take a goal kick. 1-0 West lead. Strange times that this game has to take place on Noel Connolly's immaculate pitch at Eamonn Deacy Park, but ultimately it was a good fallback option, and the bright news from that was that the game was able to be streamed by Vincent O'Connor and his team of Mark McDonough, Robbie Crosby and Stephen Naughton. The facilities are here to enable West United supporters to see the game, which is some crumb of comfort. Obviously, so many of you would love to be here as Gary Matthews is fouled. But it'll be a free kick for West, and it'll be taken by either Mixer Devaney or Keith Lee. But it's great that this game is available for people to watch from the comfort of their homes and elsewhere, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast, both West United, Westport and neutral people. It's Westport, the visitors to Galway. Frisch dishes a lovely pass wide right towards Philip Keegan. Philip Keegan to McAllister. McAllister over the top looking for Keegan. Cotter was bright to scamper off his line and gather the ball safely. John Cotter, who had a good afternoon a matter of weeks ago against the well-regarded Sligo outfit Carberry, when West United added another scalp to their O'Connor Park collection. That's the arena in which West love to play, but they're satisfied to be here at Eamonn Deacy Park too, because it's a good sign to be playing football right now at the penultimate stage of the Connacht Junior Cup. The ambition now though is to reach the decider, and West currently lead here by 1-0 against an accomplished Mayo team headed on by Gary Matthews. Lawless comes across and smashes the ball right footed towards Keegan. Owen Whelan nips in. Nathan Ward dispossessed by Mikey O'Brien. Dennis Lydon gets across. Left footed clearance from Dennis Lydon. It'll be a throw in to be taken by right full Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien towards Darren Brown. Brown back to Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy under pressure from Barry McEntee. McEntee, an able midfield player for West United, as Tag looks to go from back to front quickly, looking for Keegan. The ball trickles out harmlessly over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for West United. It looks like Mike Myrables Murphy from this vantage point is behind the goal. Committee member and a man who was kept West United relevant throughout the years. Famously scored in the Connacht Junior Cup Final of 75, a hat-trick. What an exciting footballer he was, Mike Myrables Murphy. In his day, always talked about by West United folk, as Dennis Lydon heads it away at the second attempt. Rory Casserly climbs high, could have been a free for Westport. It was a free for Westport. Can be few complaints from the green and white team. It's an exchange between players of both teams, but ultimately it was a free kick in a dangerous position here with Jack Murphy about to take. Jack Murphy, 28 yards from the West United goal. John Cotter between the sticks, a 5-man wall of Ronan Caldwell, Rory Casserly, Barry McEntee, Nathan Ward, Keith Lee. Right footed effort, crisp shot it was too from Jack Murphy, but it was always rising and it goes over the bar. It'll be a goal kick as John Cotter retrieves the ball from behind the netting. Nearly half time here. West United lead by 1-0 with the goal kick to be taken by John Cotter, who tries to place the ball carefully on the deck, but the wind is howling fast and furious here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Cotter, right footed delivery from John Cotter. Rory Casserly is going to climb high, as is Ronan Caldwell. Caldwell gets there as referee Kilcoyne blasts the half-time whistle, but a very satisfactory first half, Patsy, for West United to be leading 1-0 here at Eamonn Deacy Park.
Very much so. They've played against a very strong wind, and we're a goal up, and things are looking good now for the second half. If we get the passing better, we should win easy enough.
Patsy O'Connor hopeful that West can maintain a good passing rhythm in the second half. I see Rodney Grant, Mark McPhilbin, Sean O'Dowd, Shane Batty O'Flaherty, Jody Kern, the distinctive figure of Jody Kern in the shades, carrying the red bag as he gives a fist towards the gantry position. And Jody Kern, his smile tells the story, because West United are in a favourable position here at the interval. They lead Westport United by 1-0 in this Connacht Junior Cup semi-final. Please join us shortly for the second half from Eamonn Deacy Park.
You're off, lads, thanks. Sorry about that. Everything's coming in here, but it just wasn't going out with the picture. And we had to restart it. You might.
Like you. Landis, local 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 like you. Londis, local like you. Londis, local like you. Londis, local like you. Londis, local like you.
Second half just about to get underway here as the officials from both the clubs leave the pitch. Rodney Grant shares a word with J. McPhilbin, now goes across to Rory Casserly. Rodney delighted with how the first half unfolded as West lead at the break by a goal to nil. See Mark McPhilbin and Shane Paddy O'Flaherty going across the pitch. Shane Paddy O'Flaherty, what a player he was for West United through the decades. A real one club man as a player, and still occasionally togs out. Reserve team level, what a valuable contributor he has been to the green and white team throughout the decades. 75 years in existence this year, West United. Patsy O'Connor, the man beside me here up in the gantry, has played such a vital role alongside his brother Michael in keeping the West United flag flying, and he will be thrilled with how this game is unfolding so far. Good position, Patsy, West to be 1-0 up.
Oh, very much so. Hopefully now we'll avail of all the chances we create, because the wind is right behind them, so they'll have no excuses.
Before the game, Patsy spoke passionately about the previous meetings involving West and Westport, Connacht Junior Cup Finals of 75 and 87. West won in 75, lost in 87. That game featured a young Joe O'Toole, another hugely influential West United family. The O'Tooles, Mike, Mark and Joe, all gave such wonderful service throughout the years to West United, and I'm sure there's many houses tuning in back in the West to see how this game is unfolding as McDonough, left-footed cross, goes towards the back stick. Right full Mikey O'Brien is quickly on the premises. He feeds the towering centre forward Darren Brown under pressure from Rory Casserly. Rory Casserly does ever so well. That smashing midfield play from Casserly, whose subsequent pass was cut out, and it'll end up being a corner for West United. But Casserly is a very, very lively midfield player. He covers the ground well. He's mobile and he's fit, and he has decent touch, and he has plenty to offer West United. His early 20s, Rory Casserly, a good acquisition. Corner kick is going to be taken by McAllister. Behind, just in front of the clubhouse, I see Daniel Brown, West United's arguably their greatest supporter. Daniel Brown on steward duty this afternoon, but he's there behind the goal. Right full Mikey O'Brien throws it down the line towards McAllister. Nathan Ward and McAllister tussle for possession. Nathan Ward hooks it down the line. Mikey O'Brien, attempted pass cut out by a combination of McEntee and Casserly. Mikey O'Brien is eventually shepherded out over the touchline by Barry McEntee, who has forged a very, very reliable and solid midfield partnership with Rory Casserly. In attack for West, Jay McPhilbin and Ronan Caldwell down below us. Be throw in to be taken by the clear man Owen Whelan. Whelan throws it. Casserly can't get there. It's tipped by Mikey O'Brien, the Westport right full, and the ball trickles through. Sean Tagg feeds goalkeeper Gary Cunningham. Cunningham to Tagg. Tagg switches the play to Lawless. Joe Lawless, he drives into the west half, makes a bit of ground. Joe Lawless under pressure from Ronan Caldwell, out towards McDonough. McDonough looking to get the ball down the line, but Mixer Devaney has been very, very lively at right full for West, and Rodney Grant is demanding that West continue to play with the passion that has been shown so far. Rory Casserly gets in there. I can hear Jody Kern bellowing instructions on the far side. Always good to hear Jody. West plead for a free kick. Barry McEntee, Rory Casserly back to Mixer Devaney. Devaney's attempted pass cut out by McDonough, and Jody Kern again gives a word of appreciation to Devaney. It'll be a throw in to be taken by Keith Lee as Rory Casserly ties his boots near the halfway line. A throw in to be taken by Keith Lee, the goal scorer for West United this afternoon. Keith Lee throws it long into the Westport half, headed on by Ronan Caldwell. Ronan Caldwell, always so willing to work for his team and his colleagues. Killannon footballer too, Ronan Caldwell, and such a pity that when he played at League of Ireland level a decade or so ago, Galway United were at a low ebb because Ronan Caldwell had so much to offer at that level and grade of football. In the intervening years, he's been a prolific goal scorer in the jerseys of Our Ladies Boys Club and West United as Caldwell comes in, nips in to win possession back to Nathan Ward, to Jay McPhilbin. McPhilbin around the corner looking for Ronan Caldwell. Assistant referee on the far side waves the flag. There wasn't much in it, but perhaps it was an offside. But clever approach work from Nathan Ward and Jay McPhilbin. The idea was right from Jay McPhilbin, the versatile player, and playing a number of roles, but this afternoon he's up top alongside Ronan Caldwell. Conway, left-footed pass out to McDonough. McDonough faced by Gary Matthews, who does enough to stop the cross. McDonough into McAllister, but McPhilbin, industrious, gets it to Barry McEntee. Nathan Ward eventually dispossessed by right back Mikey O'Brien. O'Brien to McAllister. McAllister, clever little pass towards Darren Brown, who has his pocket picked by Rory Casserly. Ronan Caldwell looking for Casserly, but McAllister nips in. Dennis Lydon, strong challenge. It'll be a free kick for Westport following that challenge by Dennis Lydon. Probably was a free kick, and it will be a free kick in a threatening position for the Mayo outfit. In the vicinity you have fullback Mark McDonough, who has delivered some crisp left-footed set pieces already. So Mark McDonough stands 22 yards out from the West United goal. Three-man wall of Rory Casserly, Barry McEntee and Nathan Ward. McDonough raises two arms, left-footed, looks for the near stick. John Cotter had it covered, and now Darren Brown retrieves the ball for John Cotter, who walks back in to the edge of the 6-yard area. Be a bit of a change in shape here from Westport in the early part of the second half. Conway has drifted out to the right. It seems that Philip Keegan is going to act as the front runner, with Darren Brown in close proximity up in attack for Westport. Mikey O'Brien, but Rory Casserly does well to win possession back for West United. Barry McEntee over the top looking for Nathan Ward, who had drifted agonisingly inches offside, but Westport quickly take the free kick. McAllister is a busy central midfield player, gets the game going. Goalkeeper Gary Cunningham to Joe Lawless. Lawless has to go back to Gary Cunningham. West have something to protect here, though. Keith Lee, the goal scorer, he rises high to head the ball down to Barry McEntee, who helps it on. Jay McPhilbin puts Lawless under pressure. Great work from Jay McPhilbin. It's going to be a throw in for West United, and that owes much to the perseverance of Jay McPhilbin, as Keith Lee seems to be in a bit of bother here. It's John Cotter and Keith Lee and Mixer Devaney all checking on the well-being of Keith Lee, the West United goal scorer. But Keith Lee might require attention. Owen Dooley is warming up on the far side, as is Oisin Connolly. But Jody Curran trots onto the pitch. The Ash Road man comes on to check on Keith Lee. Jody Curran managed a famous West United B team for many, many years, a team that went unbeaten for several seasons, and that owed much to Jody Curran's passion and desire for West United and for football. His speeches got West United going on so many occasions, and that team won many games against the odds, and that was chiefly down to the organisation and passion of Jody Curran, who was part of Rodney Grant's backroom at the club now. Jody Curran's just checking that Keith Lee is okay to continue. On the far side you can see Owen Dooley and Oisin Connolly warming up. Oisin Connolly has played good level underage, represented the Republic of Ireland along the way at underage level, played stints with Sligo Rovers and Galway United too, and he's also an accomplished Gaelic footballer, playing in the Mayo County Senior Championship in recent weeks. Keith Lee looks to have got a bang in the ribs or stomach area. Jody Curran has a word at referee Kilcoyne, gives Kilcoyne the thumbs up, and Jody goes off the pitch alongside Keith Lee, who looks like he'll be okay to continue. Rodney Grant comes down to check whether the centre half will be okay to continue, but it looks as if he'll be okay for the closing stages. But important that West United have Keith Lee here in Eamonn Deacy Park. Throw in taken by Gary Matthews, headed down by Ronan Caldwell. Back to Matthews, right foot across for Matthews at the back stick. Nathan Ward retrieves the ball, left footed, dinks it back into the area. Caldwell climbs high but is beaten to it by Lawless. It looks as if it'll be a corner for West United, or a throw in. Ball ricochets off the corner flag, and it will be a corner kick for West United, with William Grant near the corner flag, the West United secretary, and a man who has also served the Green and White Club in a plethora of roles throughout the years. Amongst his footballing career was a winner in the 2006 Jack Lillis Cup Final at this venue, amongst many other things. Left footed corner taken by Nathan Ward, headed away though by Owen Conway. Barry McEntee, he can hit them from long range, and his shot was goal bound. Unfortunately, Rory Casserly was in its way and inadvertently blocked the ball, but that was a good smash on target. It looked to be going towards the target anyway from Barry McEntee. Rory Casserly though just couldn't get out of the way of the ball, which was hit with ferocity by Barry McEntee. Barry McEntee's a great strike of the ball though, Patsy.
Unfortunately hit one of his own players. Could have been a very good goal otherwise.
Barry McEntee has rocketed a couple of those type of efforts into the top corner at O'Connor Park in the Swamp, and McEntee does well to come in there. Strong challenge on Keegan. Referee Kilcoyne waves play on. McDonough hits the deck. It'll be a free kick to Westport. Some of the Westport players pleading for a card. Don't know about that, but it will be a free kick to be taken on the far side by Mark McDonough. He stands over the ball. Cian McAllister not too far away, but Cian McAllister rather now will take the ball away from Mark McDonough, and it'll be a right-footed delivery here from Cian McAllister in the area. Plenty of bodies up from the back. It's McAllister into the area, the back stick, tag, can't make the required connection as Keith Lee carries out his defensive duty well, and as John Cotter retrieves the ball with Daniel Brown on steward duty this afternoon in front of the clubhouse end of Eamonn Deacy Park, urges on his beloved West United. John Cotter will take the goal kick. Goes towards halfway. Barry McEntee and Dennis Lydon. Combination of them. Ball will eventually be a throw in to be taken by Owen Whelan, the clear man. Goes down the line, headed away by Mikey O'Brien. Rory Casserly to Owen Whelan. Whelan hooks it down the line, looking for Ronan Caldwell. He will never give up on anything. Ronan Caldwell faced by Tag. Tag, though, his outstretched leg makes a challenge. Rory Casserly nips in. The industrious Rory Casserly crosses the ball into the area. Joe Lawless stoops down low, heads it away. Barry McEntee again, unleashes the right footed shot, takes the deflection. It'll be a West United corner. And Dennis Lydon and Keith Lee go up from the back to mind the house. Owen Whelan and Mixer Devaney. Barry McEntee is also on near the centre circle as Gary Matthews will take the corner kick. William Grant near behind the clubhouse, or the car park end rather, at Eamonn Deacy Park, taking photos. And Gary Matthews goes to the edge of the area. Nathan Ward hooks it back in, and Cunningham a backpedaling. Cunningham gathers, but a clever effort from Nathan Ward, who scored valuable goals against Carbery and Hibernians since the Connacht Junior Cup resumed a month or so ago. Brilliant to see Nathan Ward back in action following an injury-plagued spell. Player with plenty of skill and a good left foot. Mixer Devaney hooks the ball down the line. But Gary Cunningham, the Westport goalkeeper and skipper, feeds Joe Lawless. Lawless looks up, assesses his options, clips the ball towards his defensive partner Tag. His pass goes awry, and Nathan Ward over the top looking for Jay McPhilbin. Certainly offside. McPhilbin, can he get there? McPhilbin, was he taken down by Lawless? Perhaps not. Was a claim, but not a penalty according to referee Kilcoyne. If it had happened at the other end, there would have been an inquiry if a penalty had been given against the Galway outfit, so I don't think we can have too many complaints. Those with West United in the blood. This Tag goes towards Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien, clever pass from Mikey O'Brien, looking for Keegan, who does well to win the ball. Keegan's right foot across, cut out by Keith Lee. Keith Lee gets his clearance as far as McAllister. McAllister is an inventive midfield player. McAllister, right foot across to the back stick. Frisch heads it down. McDonough hooks it back into the area. Dennis Lydon heads it towards McAllister. McAllister left footed shot blocked by Barry McEntee. Murphy to Owen Conway. Conway and O'Brien exchange passes. O'Brien, good challenge from Owen Whelan. Ronan Caldwell wins the ball back for West United with McAllister on the deck. It'll be referee Kilcoyne has stopped the game, and McAllister might require attention there, McAllister. So I'm not sure what referee Kilcoyne will decide following that coming together. And it's plenty of views being provided in the ear of referee Kilcoyne, but this waves everyone away. And the conference continues as referee Kilcoyne goes over to have a word with Jay McPhilbin. Joe Lawless. West United lead here by 1-0. Connacht Junior Cup semi-final. Strange that the game isn't taking place at O'Connor Park, which has provided the backdrop for West United's recent wins over Carbery and Galway Hibernians. However, nonetheless, at least there is football, even if it is strange and surreal not to have action with significant amount of people who will attend these fixtures. Westport and West United backed by large followings. Barry McEntee's ball over the top, cut out by Cunningham as McAllister has recovered following that injury. Frisch looking for Keegan. But Keith Lee, backpedaling Keith Lee does well. Barry McAtee tries to chest it down, looking for Mixer Devaney, but big centre forward. Darren Brown feeds Owen Conway. Conway towards Murphy. Murphy to McAllister. McAllister back to Tag. Tag looking for Keegan, who has been prominent since shifting inside to a central attacking role. Dennis Lydon, urged on by Daniel Brown behind the goal, gets it away, and Ronan Caldwell, strong play by Ronan Caldwell. Jay McPhilbin now, West in a really threatening position. Jay McPhilbin goes into Westport territory. Ambitious effort from Jay McPhilbin was always rising, and it'll be a goal kick for Westport United as Gary Cunningham, the goalkeeper, retrieves the ball. He's going to take a goal kick. It's going to be a substitution on the far side for West United. It looks as if Owen Conway is about to depart the fray. He's going to be replaced here for Frisch, who had started on the left, looks to be coming towards the right. So Westport are trying several different formations, and on the far side substitution has been made. No electronic board in operation, and we'll just look to see who has come on for Owen Conway. It's going to be operating wide left for the Mayo outfit as Frisch. Nathan Ward helps it on. Tag heads it back towards Gary Cunningham, and it's going to go out for a West United corner, and West United will hope to punish that lapse from Westport. It seems that the substitute that has entered the fray is James O'Donnell, we think. But up from the back come Dennis Lydon, Keith Lee, Rory Casserly is in the area, as is Ronan Caldwell. Corner kick is going to be taken by Gary Matthews, West United right midfielder. Matthews gets it into the area. It's headed away by Brown. Frisch and Matthews collide. Frisch helps it down the line. It'll be a throw in for West United. Owen Whelan is quickly on the scene. It looks like he will take the throw in. Owen Whelan, his throw in cut out by Frisch, but Jay McPhilbin comes in, tries to dig out a shot.
Can't continue, come on.
And it'll be a goal kick for Westport on the far side. Looks as if West might make a substitution too. Substitution. Looks as if it might be made in the coming moments. Rodney Grant is having a word with the official on the far side.
Who's gone up?
Chris Duffy is going to come into the game for Nathan Ward. Keith Lee heads it away. A throw in to be taken by Mixer Devaney, or Keith Lee rather. Keith Lee, Mixer Devaney leaves it for Keith Lee, throws it down the line, goes deep into Westport territory. We throw in eventually for Westport as the rain begins to spill down at Eamonn Deacy Park. Gary Cunningham under pressure from Jay McPhilbin. McPhilbin appeared to be taken down. McPhilbin always willing to work for the team. A very, very lively and industrious performer, Jay McPhilbin. He appeared to be fouled by Gary Cunningham. He just didn't realise that McPhilbin was on the premises, and McPhilbin wins a free kick for West United, which will be taken on the far side near the Comer stand by Owen Whelan. But the willingness of Ronan Caldwell and Jay McPhilbin to work throughout has been an real feature of this game, and J. McPhilbin didn't give up on a lost cause there, and he wins a free kick, or earns a free kick in a threatening position for West United, which will be taken by Owen Whelan. Owen Whelan, this will be a left-footed delivery up from the back.
Not too hard now. Not
Dennis
too hard.
Lydon. Owen Whelan's effort punched away by Cunningham as Jack Murphy helps it on down the line looking for McAllister, and McAllister breaks into the West half, but Mixer Devaney, a good fullback, does in those type of situations, sweeps across the line following the set piece to clear the danger just as Westport might have threatened. Tag across to Joe Lawless. Joe Lawless back to Tag down the line towards Conway, towards Jack Murphy rather, back to Tag to Mikey O'Brien to Darren Brown, cut out by Owen Whelan dinks it on. He was not going to give up on it, and Tag to Lawless. Owen Whelan puts him under pressure. Duffy back to Mixer Devaney over the top. The ball skids off the surface. Tag heads it down. J. McPhilbin quickly on the scene. Got a bang in the process though, J. McPhilbin. But McPhilbin's willingness to battle for the West United cause is evident, as is Ronan Caldwell's. Gary Matthews and Barry McEntee come in. Darren Brown to O'Donnell. His attempted pass eventually trickles out towards the West United technical area, and it'll be a throw in. Mixer Devaney carefully throws the ball to Barry McEntee, who hooks it forward. Chris Duffy earns a throw in for West United, who lead by a 1-0 at Eamonn Deacy Park. The throw in again will be taken by Mixer Devaney, Keith Lee, Dennis Lydon and Owen Whelan have formed a very diligent defensive unit for West this afternoon so far, as the wind continues to howl furiously, with the rain also here for good measure at the moment. So it's blustery, it's wet, and it's wintry conditions in many respects. McAllister passes the ball to Murphy to Mikey O'Brien, useful right back down the line towards Frisch passes inside to Murphy. Barry McEntee to Ronan Caldwell. Rory Casterly and Cian McAllister collide. Frisch tries to get around Gary Matthews, Owen Whelan, Barry McEntee and Keith Lee eventually clears the danger. Gary Matthews now on the left hand side for West, with Chris Duffy on the right. Left footed cross taken by substitute O'Donnell. Frisch can't get it under control, and it'll be a goal kick for West United, as John Cotter to retrieve the ball, and John Cotter will take the goal kick. This broadcast, it owes so much to the efforts of Vincent O'Connor, who got this operation in these testing COVID times up and running for both Galway United and Galway Women's FC, and it is because of him people in Galway and elsewhere can currently watch live football in these worrying times, and everyone in Galway is very, very grateful to Vincent O'Connor Senior and his assistants Stephen Naughton, Mark McDonough and Robbie Crosby for the valuable service they are providing for people, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And those of a West United persuasion, I'm sure you are, as the green and white team lead by a 0 here. Westport though certainly carry a threat. Brown to Lawless, hooked away again by Mixer Devaney. Mikey O'Brien, Frisch hooks it into the west area. Dennis Lydon being put under pressure by Keegan. McAllister gets it under control at the second attempt. Gary Matthews working hard, and Matthews puts the ball out for a throw in, and it'll be a throw in to Westport. The game is in a crucial phase at the moment. Another substitution about to take place for West United. Oisín Connolly is about to enter the action. So Oisín Connolly looks as if he's going to replace Jay McPhilbin perhaps, and Jay McPhilbin can be pleased with his afternoon's work. Another very, very hard-working performance from Jay McPhilbin. Always puts defences under pressure, always willing to work, and in many ways you could describe him as a real West United player. Those traits always valued by West United. Battlers to the end as Mikey O'Brien fires a right foot across, cut out. Ronan Caldwell goes in chase. Caldwell and tag. It's going to be a free kick for Westport. Ronan Caldwell booked by referee Kilcoyne, and that one is yellow card for Ronan Caldwell. Ultimately it'll be a free kick. Referee Kilcoyne is the man that matters. Cian McAllister stands over the ball near halfway. Referee Paul Kilcoyne is demanding that Tag receives some attention. Sean Tag on the far side. Cian McAllister has the ball at his feet near halfway, clips it out towards right full Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien gets it into the area. Keith Lee backpedaling, headed away by Barry McEntee, helped on by Duffy, and Caldwell is in on this occasion, gets inside Lawless. Ronan Caldwell shoots from the edge of the area and the ball trickles out. The assistant and the referee have a long look and they pause for a moment, eventually signal towards the corner flag. It'll be a corner kick for West United. Another opportunity for Dennis Lydon and the goal scorer Keith Lee to come up from the back. It'll be corner kick. Owen Whelan will take for West United. Whelan places the ball carefully on the deck. Oisín Connolly also in the area, as is Rory Casserly, Gary Matthews too. Keith Lee headed on towards the back stick. Rory Casserly did well to make a connection, but his left-footed shot goes out over the bar with roughly a quarter of an hour remaining here at Eamonn Deacy Park. And West lead by a goal to nil. Match is entering a crucial phase. West United and Westport storied history and rivalry in the Connacht Junior Cup. Westport always formidable opposition. Commenced the Mayo Super League last week and they're perennial contenders for that competition. However, they bring a rich pedigree in the Connacht and FAI Junior Cups as Casserly heads on. Oisín Connolly in the centre of the park alongside Barry McEntee. Rory Casserly slightly advanced, operating behind Ronan Caldwell since that substitution, since the entry of the entrance of Oisín Connolly to the game. Mixer Devaney seems to be in a bit of bother, and Jody Curran is waiting for permission to enter the pitch from referee Paul Kilcoyne. And Mixer Devaney hobbles back to his feet. Important in the closing stages. West need everyone. Mixer Devaney hobbles out, and it looks as if another substitution might be necessary in a minute or two as Rodney Grant issues instructions towards the stand where the substitutes must sit in these social distancing times, not allowed on the bench. So the West United subs are in the stand, and it looks as if Simon Murray, from this vantage point, it looks as if Simon Murray is about to enter the fray. prolific goal scorer down through the years. The Western Hygiene Supplies Premier Division for Merview, and West United also had a very productive spell with Our Ladies Boys Club, who have such a history in the game in Galway and helped in the development of so many footballers throughout the years. Simon Murray is on for the closing stages here. The free kick is going to be taken by Owen Whelan. Owen Whelan's left-footed delivery is connected to by either Rory Casserly or Oisin Connolly. It happened so quickly, but ultimately the ball trickles wide. But that was a real good opportunity for West United, and a fine delivery from Owen Whelan caused panic in the Westport defence. West nearly add to their account, helped on by Oisin Connolly. Westport though roaring back. Frisch, right footed cross, goes into the area, and John Cotter will take his time here, the Claddagh man, between the sticks for West United, and he bounces the ball off the ground and looks down towards Simon Murray, who's just entered the game. Murray puts McDonough under pressure. Brown back to McDonough. McDonough goes wide looking for substitute O'Donnell. Throw in for Westport. O'Donnell to Brown. Brown back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Murphy. Clever work. Brown looking for Frisch at the back stick. Owen Whelan though goes in search, and the ball drifts out. It'll be a throw in for West United near the corner flag at the clubhouse end of Eamonn Deacy Park. Throw in taken by Owen Whelan. Headed infield by Mikey O'Brien. Murphy, Darren Brown, who slips a pass to McAllister. McAllister to Frisch. Frisch to Murphy. Murphy to Lawless. Westport certainly committing bodies forward in the closing stages here at Eamonn Deacy Park, but the statistic that truly matters is the one that states that West United lead by a goal to nil. Simon Murray holds the ball up ever so well. Simon Murray though just can't get around to tag, but Simon Murray is an experienced player and West will need him to use all his guile in the closing stages. Simon Murray. Gary Matthews comes in, makes a tackle on tag. Barry McEntee to Simon Murray. Murray looking for Matthews, who gets the ball at the second attempt and tries to hook it down the line, but unfortunately the ball is regathered by the visitors with McAllister. McAllister looking for Frisch. Caldwell has dropped deep to lend assistance. Barry McEntee looking for Duffy. Cut out by McDonough. Rory Casserly, the influential figure of Rory Casserly. Simon Murray battling well. O'Donnell, Westport substitute, faced by Chris Duffy and Keith Lee. Oisin Connolly back in a defensive role now since the departure of Mixer Devaney. Rodney Grant has been forced into a significant reshuffle. It looks as if Oisin Connolly and Dennis Lydon are now in the centre of the West defence, with Keith Lee at right full. The centre of the park presently you have Barry McEntee, Rory Casserly and Ronan Caldwell. Simon Murray up top, but the injury to Mixer Devaney has necessitated that change as substitute O'Donnell dinks it into the West area, headed away by Oisin Connolly, a Mayo man in West United colours this afternoon. Gary Matthews hooks it down the line. Gary Cunningham, the Westport goalkeeper, comes out. The throw in is going to be taken by Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien throws it back to Murphy. Murphy is dropped deep in search of possession, and Cunningham goes direct. O'Donnell looking for Frisch, but Owen Whelan gets it down the line. Cian McAllister and Gary Matthews collide. Mikey O'Brien to Cian McAllister. Cian McAllister, right foot across. John Cotter does well to fist the ball away. Ronan Caldwell and Murphy collide. Joe Lawless out towards O'Donnell. O'Donnell dinks it towards the back stick, but the ball is going to trickle harmlessly out over the end line, and West United will be in no rush to take the kick out as the game remains 1-0 to the Galway team, who will be satisfied with how this afternoon is unfolding so far. However, do not write off Westport United at any stage until the final whistle is blasted by referee Paul Kilcoyne, because they have significant pedigree. John Cotter, goal kick, Tag heads it but he can't head it away. Simon Murray tries to get it under control. Mikey O'Brien, clever little pass inside to Cian McAllister. McAllister dispossessed by Gary Matthews. Gary Matthews is a long way from goal. He was about to dig out a shot, was fouled by McAllister. It'll be a free kick for West United. Another valuable few seconds will go off the clock. Rodney Grant, Mark McPhilbin, Jody Kern on the far side, all on the edge of the technical area issuing instructions. They are completely aware that the stakes are piled high at Eamonn Deacy Park, because West are protecting a 1-0 lead. Returning to the Connacht Junior Cup Final is the mission that West want to accomplish. Alan Grant on steward duty this afternoon behind the goal informs Dennis Lydon that there is the guts of 10 minutes remaining. As Alan Grant walks from behind the goal, a famous Grant family who have been key figures for West United throughout the decades. A substitution. Cian McAllister has gone off the pitch for Westport. Free kick taken by Owen Whelan, headed on by Casserly, and it looks as if the substitute that has entered the fray is Queeveen O'Toole for the Mayo men. Gary Cunningham, Westport's captain and goalkeeper, drives it long into the West United half. Owen Whelan caresses a smart pass to Gary Matthews. Matthews has a bit of skill, tries to release Ronan Caldwell. Joe Lawless though wins possession back for Westport. Frisch heads it on. Owen Whelan, another intervention from Whelan, but Westport win the ball back. Brown and Casserly collide. Surely a free kick for West United. Referee Kilcoyne awards a free kick. Casserly makes no issue of it. He's back up on his feet. He's ready for action. He knows that further work needs to be carried out in the closing stages, and that is what West require later on here, is just to maintain the intensity levels and the passion levels that have been shown, because that's what will get them over the line and back into a Connacht Junior Cup Final. Murphy under pressure from Simon Murray. Simon Murray working hard since his arrival into the game. Tag to Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien has to go back to Sean Tag. Sean Tag to substitute O'Toole. Back to O'Brien. West will be content to keep Westport here. Cunningham out to left full. McDonough, heavy touch. Chris Duffy nips in. Simon Murray though couldn't get involved as he was offside, so Simon Murray knew to not get involved with the play. It's Keegan, well headed away by Dennis Lydon, though a very, very experienced player, Dennis Lydon, who previously played with East United for many years, and Galway Hibernians, and East United's rise perhaps a decade or so ago. Dennis Lydon was a key part of that team. East United, they will come again. Important underage work being carried out. That's something that West United have relaunched in recent years, and heartening sight every Saturday morning at South Park to see Brendan O'Shaughnessy and Thomas Griffin, Philip McDonough, William Grant amongst others, getting the next generation ready for West United. Might be a decade or so until the fruits of that labour are seen, but what an important thing it is that underage football is provided. Patsy O'Connor and Michael O'Connor gave that service for many decades as Westport get the ball into the area, headed away by Oisin Connolly, and Rory Casserly does ever so well. Casserly has Simon Murray ahead of him. Casserly passes towards Simon Murray, gets to the edge of inside the Westport area, and Simon Murray left-footed shot cut out by Gary Cunningham, and Cunningham gives the ball to Murphy. Murphy right-footed looking towards Keegan. Keegan heads it on. Frisch has drifted inside and gets there ahead of Oisin Connolly. Substitute O'Donnell looking for Lawless, who had made ground on the left, but shape has gone out the window for Westport because they just need a goal in the closing stages, and they're trying to get bodies forward, and it's hard to blame them because they need a goal to get back into this game. West just need to see it out. Ronan Caldwell clips the ball down the line. Simon Murray goes in chase, but McDonagh feeds Gary Cunningham, experienced Westport captain, out towards Mikey O'Brien, who has been safe and solid at right back for the Mayo team. Sean Tagg now has the ball. Lawless is pressed into service in attack for the closing stages, but Westport still up to pass the ball. Gary Cunningham goes direct on this occasion, looking for Frisch, but Owen Whelan gets there. Caldwell and O'Brien collide. It'll be a free kick for Westport in the dying embers here at Eamonn Deacy Park. 2 minutes of normal time remain. Can expect to see a matter of minutes of additional time also. So Murphy gets the ball into the west area, headed away by Ronan Caldwell. Rory Casserly, the industrious Rory Casserly, goes in chase. Simon Murray puts McDonagh under some pressure. Murphy to Mikey O'Brien to Sean Tagg. Sean Tagg goes direct, cut out by Oisín Connolly. Rory Casserly helps it on. Barry McEntee and Brown collide. Frisch clips the ball along the deck into the area. Keegan tries to get a left-footed shot away, but a good and strong challenge from Dennis Lydon. It was a necessary intervention. Mark McDonagh gets it into the west area. Lydon, left-footed, clears the danger. Simon Murray surely fouled there by substitute Queeveen O'Toole. Simon Murray stays on the deck, using his guile and experience. Simon Murray there. 1 minute left. A few more seconds are going to go off the clock, and Simon Murray is down and might need a drop of Jody Kern's water from the red bag that is carried by the Ash Road man, who skips onto the pitch. Jody Kern, the shades on. The sun is out now at Eamonn Deacy Park again, and Jody Kern just checks on Simon Murray's well-being, but from this vantage point it's just a precautionary measure. Simon, I think, will be fine to conclude the game for West United. Valuable seconds being ticked away here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Jody Kern picks up the red bag, and what a warrior Jody Kern has been for West United. His brothers also have given the club huge service, but Jody Kern, it's always a pleasure to see Jody Kern, who has that valuable gift of making you feel better about yourself every time you meet him. What a man he was to take charge of teams, and he gave a passionate speech down below us before the game here that certainly got West going. Frisch passes it to Darren Brown. Brown goes wide right, where Lawless, who started the game at centre half but is now an auxiliary attacker, Lawless gets it deep into West area, headed up in the air by Keith Lee. An anxious moment there following a smashing right-footed cross from Joe Lawless, who is pressed into emergency service as an attacker for Westport, but he showed a bit of skill on the right flank there to dig out a right-footed cross. Now the corner is going to be taken by O'Donnell. It'll be left-footed delivery. The only player in the Westport half is goalkeeper Gary Cunningham. West have everyone back to try to deal with this situation. We're in stoppage time. Taken by O'Donnell. It's headed into the back of the West United net by Keegan. Philip Keegan heads the ball to the back of the West United net, and extra time now looms. And it's so unfortunate for West United, because they had got into such a good position to be leading in stoppage time. But O'Donnell's delivery was deep. Rodney Grant on the far side has his hands on the hips. He puts his hand onto the top of the dugout, and he knows that a real opportunity has been missed, because Westport are very much back in this game, and parity has been restored as Simon Murray tries to get the ball under control at the second attempt. That's exactly what Simon Murray does. He gets the ball across the area. Mikey O'Brien hooks it away. Ronan Caldwell goes in chase, wins the ball back with a good tackle, and referee Kilcoyne gives a free kick. And from this vantage point, it was no more a free kick. However, Kilcoyne is the man with the whistle. He's the man that counts, and what he says goes. And it'll be a free kick to be taken by Gary Cunningham. And extra time now looms. West United led in stoppage time. But a moment in defensive concentration was lapsed and was ruthlessly punished. Chris Duffy surely fouled there. And referee Kilcoyne on this occasion points towards the car park end of the ground. It'll be a free kick for West United. And it's nearly a feeling of acceptance that extra time appears to be on the cards, but only a matter of moments ago we suggested that Westport should never be written off, and Connolly's delivery finds Gary Matthews at the back stick. Matthews nearly manufactured enough space to unleash a shot. However, Jack Murphy and Chris Duffy collide. Joe Lawless hooks it out towards substitute O'Donnell, who he provided the assist for Westport's equaliser into O'Toole. Lawless, who helped earn the corner, is now going to let the ball trickle harmlessly out over the end line. And Gary Cunningham, Westport now, if extra time occurs, will hit extra time. Delighted to be still in this cup tie, so West need to remain focused here. All is not lost. It's still 1-1. A place in the Connacht Junior Cup Final is still up for grabs. Seemed to be a foul there on Gary Matthews, but Kilcoyne waves play on. Owen Whelan nearly wins it back, and Mikey O'Brien tries to dink it over the top. A handball though. A free kick for Westport, and this is another dangerous situation. Referee Kilcoyne brandishes the yellow card for Owen Whelan for the handball, and O'Donnell, who provided the left-footed corner delivery for Westport's equaliser, which was headed home by Philip Keegan, who has impressed, particularly since moving to a central attacking role. It'll be a free kick to be taken by James O'Donnell. O'Donnell carefully places the ball on the ground and he dinks it into the west area. Ronan Caldwell and Joe Lawless climb high, beats the two of them. Keegan, though, gets it under control. However, the flag goes up from the assistant on the old stand side of Eamonn Deacy Park on this blustery afternoon. Quickly taken by Keith Lee towards Chris Duffy. He drives into Westport territory. Simon Murray looks up and tries to dig out a left-footed pass, headed down by Frisch, and it goes all the way back to goalkeeper Gary Cunningham. And extra time appears to be imminent as referee Paul Kilcoyne gives 3 blasts of the whistle, and both teams go towards their respective managements. Extra time will be required here at Eamonn Deacy Park, and Rodney Grant will need all his powers of motivation because West did lead in stoppage time and Westport came back courtesy of Philip Keegan, who cancelled out Keith Lee's first half goal for West. Rodney Grant has the word with the officials as he goes across the pitch, and Rodney Grant, Mark McPhilbin, Shane Barry O'Flaherty, Jody Curran all go over towards the old stand side where West players gather at the end of the stand as Jody Curran just checks about the allotted amount of substitutions which can be made now for extra time, and both teams will prepare for further action here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Join us shortly for extra time between West United and Westport United in this interesting Connacht Junior Cup semi-final.
Landis, local like you. 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 Landis, local like you.
Welcome back to Eamonn Deacy Park as we get ready for extra time here in this interesting Connacht Junior Cup semi-final. West, who led for a long time courtesy of Keith Lee's first half goal, but right at the death, at the end of normal time, Westport equalised courtesy of Philip Keegan, who rose unchallenged in the area following a corner from substitute James O'Donnell to force extra time. However, the game still remains delicately poised. Rodney Grant had words with his West United team to remain cool, to remain calm. All is not lost. Westport, though, plundered a goal right at the death to force extra time, and they're about to take the centre here. Darren Brown, who has put in a real shift for them in a number of different roles here this afternoon. He has been an effective figure for the Mayo team. West, who've lost Mixer Devaney through injury. At the moment, they'll start extra time. John Cotter in goal. At the moment, Keith Lee is at right back. Oisin Connolly, Dennis Lydon in the centre of the defence with Owen Whelan on the left. On the left hand side of midfield is Gary Matthews inside, Rory Casserly and Barry McEntee. Chris Duffy's on the right. Up top, Ronan Caldwell and Simon Murray, who came on as a substitute in the closing stages. Keith Lee heads the ball away. Sean Tagg, the Westport centre half, towards O'Toole. Joe Lawless, who helped force that critical corner at the end, gets the ball back to Westport captain Gary Cunningham, headed away by Keith Lee. Darren Brown heads it back. Chris Duffy, Darren Brown, Barry McEntee under pressure, and Jack Murphy nips in. Clever midfield play from Jack Murphy towards O'Donnell's left footed cross, met by Keegan, who heads the ball wide, and that was a reminder of Westport's ability to cause West United problems. In fairness, West United had dealt adequately with the majority of Westport's challenge until right at the death, when Keegan was allowed to climb unhindered in the area to force extra time. Goalkeeper John Cotter with the goal kick. Jasper Frisch climbs but can't head the ball into the West half. It'll be a throw in for West United to be taken by the clear man Owen Whelan. Owen Whelan told not to go any further by referee Kilcoyne. Owen Whelan, as Simon Murray down the line. Ronan Caldwell also makes a dash, but it's cut out by Mikey O'Brien, who has put in a good, resilient performance at right full. Rory Casserly. Casserly looking for Simon Murray. Murray over the top towards Ronan Caldwell. No flag. Ronan Caldwell. Nice little pass towards Owen Whelan. Left foot across, but Gary Cunningham saw it coming, and the Westport goalkeeper gathered safely, and he looks up, opts not to go quickly. Gary Cunningham, 2 bounces and kicks it high into the blustery west of Ireland wind. Owen Whelan and Jasper Frisch collide, as does Barry McEntee, who comes in. Murphy makes a challenge. We throw into West United on the old stand side of Eamonn Deacy Park. Will be taken by Owen Whelan again. Whelan throws it down the line, headed on by Gary Matthews. Simon Murray goes in chase. Joe Lawless gets there first and is trying to see the ball out over the end line. Simon Murray does well to force a corner, and that was resourceful work from Simon Murray, experienced West United striker who came on as a substitute in the closing stages. And Simon Murray, a prolific goal scorer throughout the years, junior level for OLBC and Merview. He's been back in the West United jersey for many years as Gary Matthews drives it into the area. Oisin Connolly nearly got there. Murray passes back towards Barry McEntee. McEntee's shot is high. Unfortunately, it's not handsome though. And Westport survive a real scare there. Again though, Simon Murray deserves the utmost credit for forcing that corner, and it's that type of determination West will need in the closing stages. Goal kick to be taken by Gary Cunningham, who instructs Lawless and Tagg to push out. He's going to go long. That's precisely what he does. Chris Duffy heads it down. O'Toole heads it back into West territory. Barry McEntee hooks it up into the air. Tagg heads down and Duffy is quickly on the scene. He has Simon Murray wide right. Simon Murray just needs to wait for numbers to get into the area. He buys a bit of time. Simon Murray delivers a right foot across, cut out by substitute O'Toole and subsequently hacked away by Mark McDonough. Barry McEntee prods it back in towards Gary Matthews, but Mikey O'Brien, the right back for Westport, has been a prominent figure and he cuts out the danger. Throw in now to be taken by Owen Whelan. Whelan, his throw in cut out by Queeveen O'Toole. He looks for Keegan, the goal scorer. Barry McEntee. Dennis Lydon not too happy with that decision. You can see why. There didn't appear to be much in that. And again, Kilcoyne is the man with the whistle and the man that matters. And as we well know, referees are always right. Apparently, the free kick to be taken by O'Donnell. O'Donnell, left-footed delivery, goes into the west area. Oisin Connolly hooks it up into the air. Frisch heads down. Dennis Lydon to Gary Matthews. But West really need to be diligent because James O'Donnell possesses a good left foot from set-piece situations. He supplied the cross from a corner for Keegan's equaliser, and it's important that West remain disciplined in the closing stages because Westport are a big strong team and can cause problems from set-piece situations, as was illustrated when they grabbed the late equaliser. Another throw in here for Westport rather, which hasn't been greeted with universal satisfaction from West United players and management. Dennis Lydon climbs high, but on this occasion the flag is up from the assistant down below us. It will be a free kick for West United. It will be taken by Owen Whelan. Owen Whelan has Oisin Connolly and Dennis Lydon, Keith Lee alongside him in the defence. Whelan's delivery goes long towards Simon Murray, headed away by Stagg. Chris Duffy retrieves possession for West United. Duffy tries to earn a throw in, but the ball ricochets off the West United substitute. Throw in quickly taken by Mark McDonough to Darren Brown. Brown back to McDonough, and McDonough, his clearance goes as far as Barry McEntee. McEntee to Keith Lee. Lee back to Oisin Connolly. Oisin Connolly to Dennis Lydon. Dennis Lydon clips it away, and the ball goes through to Gary Cunningham. Gary Cunningham, the Westport captain, thumps it long. Oisin Connolly and Dennis Lydon combine, with Lydon heading away. Darren Brown, though, he's drifted deep in search of possession throughout. He's been an important member Westport's challenge this afternoon, and the Mayo team eventually force a corner there. Sean O'Dowd behind the goal, issuing instructions where the old stand used to be in the old Terryland Park here, Eamonn Deacy Park. That's where Sean O'Dowd is standing. And he goes down to issue instructions further. Sean O'Dowd, a great servant for West United, taken by Murphy. Murphy's corner headed away by Matthews. Casserly goes in chase, as does Ronan Caldwell, and Caldwell takes on O'Toole, who makes a strong challenge. West look for a free kick, but not given. And Gary Cunningham drives it long into the West United half. Keith Lee is beaten in the air by James O'Donnell, but he's also fouled, and it'll be a free kick for West United, likely to be taken by Oisin Connolly, who has represented the Republic of Ireland at underage level. Connolly caresses the ball along Noel Connolly's immaculate pitch to Owen Whelan, receives possession back, and Oisin Connolly rather, looking for Gary Matthews, who had drifted offside. It'll be a free kick for Westport United. In the first period of extra time here at Eamonn Deacy Park, all to play for. A place in the Connacht Cup Final up for grabs. Long history between these proud clubs who were backed by significant support. It's grave pity that people are unable to attend the game in person, because West United and Westport, particularly when they're going well, attract large numbers. The Swamp is always a hive of activity when West are going well. As Keegan somehow gets 3 or 4 yards of space in the area, he digs out a right foot across, it drifts out towards the corner flag, and O'Donnell's attempted delivery cut out by Chris Duffy, and it'll be a throw in to be taken by Mark McDonough on the far side near the corner flag, the clubhouse end of Eamonn Deacy Park. McDonough throws towards Murphy. Murphy has shown himself to be a footballer of some skill, gives it back to Lawless, hangs across into the west area. Owen Whelan and Darren Brown collide, and it'll be a free kick to Westport. I can see Daniel Brown on steward duty behind a goal, and he is not too pleased with that decision. Great West United man, Daniel Brown, who could be named as West United's greatest supporter. Yeah, free kick here. It's likely to be taken by O'Donnell. He is standing over the ball near the corner flag, and this is a very dangerous situation because O'Donnell possesses a clever left foot. O'Donnell's delivery is on the money, but Simon Murray heads it away as referee Kilcoyne blasts the half-time whistle here at the end of the first period of extra time. Won't be much time for huddles or anything like that. Both teams instructed to turn around to get on with the game instantly by referee Kilcoyne, who's having a word with the assistant. He gives the coin to his assistant here on the old stand side of the pitch, and substitutions are imminent on the far side. I can see the distinctive figure of Derek O'Brien about to enter the action. He's going to replace Gary Matthews. And Derek O'Brien, what a footballer he was, Tralee native, but really a Galway man at heart, Derek O'Brien. He's even gone beyond the honorary Galwegian at this stage. He is a Galway man, born and raised in Tralee, but in Galway for a couple of decades, and there's maroon and white blood there somewhere. Westport also make a change with Frisch departing the fray. He's replaced on the far side by number 14, Daniel O'Toole, as West quickly get the game underway again. Lawless hooks it out towards O'Donnell. O'Donnell back to McDonough. McDonough inside to O'Toole. McDonough again. McDonough didn't have much of an angle to play with. Had to try and get it down the line, but the ball drifted out for a throw-in for West United. Keith Lee, the goal scorer, instructed by referee Paul Kilcoyne to come up a further few yards, and Keith Lee will take the throw-in right below the gantry here at Eamonn Deacy Park. It's a long throw-in from Keith Lee, helped on by Chris Duffy. Chris Duffy shows good strength, puts Lawless under pressure. O'Donnell, can he hook it on? The second attempt, he tries to drill the ball down the line towards Keegan, but Oisin Connolly read his intentions. Darren Brown heads the ball on. Barry McEntee and Murphy go and chase. Barry McEntee and Rory Casserly. Casserly puts Tag under pressure. Gary Cunningham's clearance helped on by McDonagh. Ronan Caldwell. Ronan Caldwell does well to win the ball back for West United. Caldwell towards Casserly. It's cut out though by Mikey O'Brien. Derek O'Brien puts him under pressure. Derek O'Brien, hugely experienced player. League of Ireland level. Galway United, Sligo Rovers, St Patrick's Athletic. A few spells with Galway United where he was a firm fan's favourite, and he also has played locally for a number of years now, and always good to watch. Derek O'Brien, an exciting player. Chris Duffy puts Mark McDonagh under pressure right below us here. Mark McDonagh and Duffy collide. O'Donnell eventually gets the ball towards Brown, who was dispossessed by the hard-working Rory Casserly. Rory Casserly gets into the Westport half. I counted 3 fouls on Rory Casserly, but none were given, and it'll eventually be a throw-in for Westport United. But Rory Casserly has battled ever so well for West. Important acquisition in recent times, offering plenty of energy in the centre of the park as Dennis Lydon heads away towards Derek O'Brien, who does that famous shuffle so many people have bought down through the years, and he does it again there with Oisin Connolly. A fine tackle. Simon Murray tries to help on the ball, but it's cut out by a combination of Tag and O'Toole as Keegan, clever around the corner pass towards the substitute Daniel O'Toole. Owen Whelan stood his ground well. Ultimately it'll be a throw-in for Westport United to be taken by right back Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien takes 3 steps, throws it long into the West United area, headed away by Barry McEntee. Chris Duffy tries to get it under control, but he only manages to get the ball as far as substitute O'Donnell. Westport make a fanciful claim for handball and win the ball back courtesy of O'Toole, but it'll be a throw-in for West United. Shout of handball went high and loud into the Eamonn Deacy Park air there, but it wasn't a penalty. It'll be a throw-in to be taken by Keith Lee, who was urged on by William Grant, who's walking around the Eamonn Deacy Park pitch here, the West United secretary, COVID officer, several roles William Grant holds. Ronan Caldwell feeds possession wide right to substitute Chris Duffy. Duffy's cross isn't bad. Caldwell comes steaming in. Goalkeeper Cunningham gathers. Tag and Caldwell collide. They have words. Murphy out wide to substitute O'Toole. Back to Mikey O'Brien. Ronan Caldwell had every right to go for that ball because Chris Duffy had unleashed a right-footed cross to the front stick, and the ball was there to be won. A Westport man would have made the exact same challenge, so I don't know what the Mayo men are complaining about on that occasion. Lydon puts Keegan under duress. O'Toole back to O'Brien. O'Brien inside to O'Toole. Tag to Mark McDonagh. Mark McDonagh goes down the line to O'Donnell. James O'Donnell was forced in on his right foot. It was an ambitious attempt from O'Donnell, but make no mistake, James O'Donnell is a player worth monitoring in the closing stages, because it's his corner that crafted the equaliser, which was headed home by Keegan in injury time at the end of normal time. It's 1-1 at Eamonn Deacy Park, and it really is delicately poised. The dying stages here. It's tense and tight. Ronan Caldwell heads the ball back towards Barry McEntee. Keegan, header to O'Toole. Keegan gets possession back and he unleashes a brilliant right-footed shot that just goes over the West United crossbar, and Keegan is a threatening player. He scored the goal that forced extra time, and in that flash of class nearly steered the visitors ahead. An excellent effort from goal scorer Philip Keegan, who started on the right but has really been a threat since switching to a central attacking role, and West will need to mind Philip Keegan in the closing stages. John Cotter has to place the ball again for the second attempt because the wind is picking up here again at Eamonn Deacy Park. It's howling, and it's howling furiously. John Cotter drives it towards the Westport half, and the ball eventually returns to where it came from, and John Cotter picks it up, opts to throw it and bowl it out to Oisín Connolly. Oisín Connolly has Ronan Caldwell up top. Caldwell and Joe Lawless go in chase. Lawless heads it away. It'll be a throw in for West United to be taken by Keith Lee. Keith Lee throws it into the Westport area. Ronan Caldwell has Joe Lawless for company. Ronan Caldwell, good hold up play from the West United attacker. Ronan Caldwell back towards Barry McEntee. His attempted cross blocked by Jack Murphy. It'll be another throw in for West United to be taken by Keith Lee. Barry McEntee kicks the ball to Keith Lee. West United goal scorer this afternoon. And Keith Lee throws it to the feet of Chris Duffy. Chris Duffy back to Keith Lee. Keith Lee down the line towards Chris Duffy. Chris Duffy's cross is in a bad one. Derek O'Brien gets it under control, but can't supply the finish. It'll be a goal kick for Westport United. The closing stages here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Gary Cunningham, Westport captain and goalkeeper. Jack Murphy and Rory Casserly. Rory Casserly heads the ball down. Simon Murray goes in chase, but Sean Tagg gets there ahead of him, helped on by Mikey O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien to substitute O'Toole. It'll be another throw in to be taken by Mikey O'Brien, maybe 7 yards from where it should have been taken, and referee Kilcoyne waves play on as Cotter comes out of the goal, and a corner for Westport. But West could certainly have complaints because the throw in was taken at least 7 yards from where the incident took place. 3 players are on the deck requiring attention. It seems to be Keegan of Westport United, John Cotter, the West United goalkeeper, and Dennis Lydon, all requiring attention. And Jody Kern is getting to the scene. Mark McPhilbin is also walking around the boundary wall at Eamonn Deacy Park to check whether goalkeeper John Cotter is okay. Aaron Connolly, West United reserve goalkeeper this afternoon, may be called into action here. And Aaron Connolly in recent weeks has played in the Galway Senior Football Championship in the maroon, green and white jersey of St. James's. John Cotter is receiving attention from Jody Curran. Westport's Keegan also being attended to. Dennis Lydon is also on the deck. So the rain is pouring down now at Eamonn Deacy Park here, August 23rd, but it's a touch of November or December here. The conditions are cool and blustery and wet. Certainly testing conditions, and a number of additional minutes are certain to be added to the clock here. It'll be a corner kick for Westport when the action resumes, and it's going to be taken by James O'Donnell, who provided the assist for Keegan's leveller. The wind really appears to be increasing in strength here. The conditions aren't pleasant. Keegan is back on his feet. He gingerly hobbles back into the area. Dennis Lydon has helped to his feet also. Now, the last of the three that were down is John Cotter. Aaron Connolly is in the technical area, as is Owen Dooley. Aaron Connolly, from a huge sporting family himself, former West United players. His two of his brothers, Eric and Barry, great sports people. The Connolly family. Robert, hugely involved with Merview United for many years too. They've given great service to Galway football and Galway Gaelic football. Aaron Connolly, former Galway underage footballer. They're a great sporting family, and I'm sure some members of that family are tuned in watching this afternoon's game. John Cotter goes back towards the goal. This is a very threatening situation. Keegan and Dennis Lydon awaiting instruction from referee Kilcoyne about when they can re-enter the action. James O'Donnell's corner goes into the West territory, and John Cotter did ever so well to tip the ball safely over the bar. It will be another corner for Westport, but John Cotter was tested there. Seems thought the corner might have to take place on the old stand side of the pitch, but Westport are being permitted to take it on the far side, and it'll be James O'Donnell again. Left foot. That has caused some bother for the home team. Left footed cross from James O'Donnell goes over the top on this occasion, and West United breathe a real sigh of relief. John Cotter will be given the ball back here. William Grant climbs the wall to caress the ball in towards Keith Lee, as referee Paul Kilcoyne sensibly decides that that is the last of the action, and penalty shootout will be necessary here at Eamonn Deacy Park. And it's really anyone's game now, because we go to the lottery of a penalty shootout, and join us in a matter of seconds for the shootout. We'll take a short break here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Penalty shootout to follow. Now, victory will be hard earned by whoever wins it. Penalty shootout necessary at Eamonn Deacy Park. Eamonn Deacy Park, the lottery that is penalty shootout, is about to unfold here. John Cotter is a West United Goalkeeper, the Cladaman, is going to face an effort from Westport's goal scorer Philip Keegan, who forced extra time, and Philip Keegan places the ball carefully as the wind is furious. The rain is here in the west of Ireland. John Cotter faces up to Philip Keegan, who will hit this right-footed. Referee Paul Kilcoyne issues instructions to Gary Cunningham, the Westport custodian. So Philip Keegan steps up. His effort is high and it goes over the bar. And West United's first penalty is going to be taken by Ronan Caldwell, the Callanan man. Ronan Caldwell. Keegan has missed for Westport, and West really have a chance to seize the initiative here at Eamonn Deacy Park. Westport went first in the shootout. Ronan Caldwell steps up. His effort is high and it goes over the bar too. So 0-0 following one effort each. And the next penalty for Westport is going to be taken by Darren Brown, who put in a real shift for his team this afternoon. Darren Brown started at centre forward, then dropped deep and was an influential figure in the game. Darren Brown, right-footed, carefully caresses the ball into the top corner. That was an accomplished penalty from Darren Brown. Next up for West United is the experienced Derek O'Brien, a man who has been in the Galway United backroom team as a first team coach for a matter of months. Derek O'Brien, a hugely experienced figure in the League of Ireland game too. Derek O'Brien, the Tralee native, but really is a Galway man at this stage, clips the ball confidently into the bottom corner, and Derek O'Brien's class is permanent. Make no mistake about that. Fine finish from Derek O'Brien. Mikey O'Brien is the next up for Westport United. He had a very effective game at right back for the Mayo team. Mikey O'Brien is faced by John Cotter. Mikey O'Brien's effort is crisp and it's right into the corner, and that was a smashing penalty from Mikey O'Brien. Up next is the Mayo man in West United ranks, Oisin Connolly. He's played in the Mayo Senior Football Championship in recent weeks, and it's 2-1 to Westport. Oisin Connolly places the ball carefully on the deck. Gary Cunningham between the sticks for Westport United. Oisin Connolly is denied by Gary Cunningham's flying save, and Westport really have seized the initiative, and James O'Donnell, who caused West United plenty of problems with his left-footed set-piece deliveries, has a significant opportunity to steer his team 3-1 to the good, and that's precisely what James O'Donnell does, meaning Barry McEntee must score to keep West United in the hunt. Gary Cunningham rolls the ball out to Barry McEntee. 3-1 Westport lead in this shootout. Barry McEntee has to score to keep West United in the equation. Barry McEntee drives it low and hard, and it squirms in under Gary Cunningham, who guessed correctly. And now Jack Murphy has the opportunity to win the shootout for Westport United. John Cotter needs to make the save. Sean O'Dowd tells Cotter that he can make the save. Sean O'Dowd's standing where the old shed used to be before the ground was refurbished in the early 90s. Jack Murphy steps up and drills the ball into the back of the West United net. Westport players and officials spill onto the Eamonn Deacy Park pitch. Westport United prevail here at Eamonn Deacy Park following a penalty shootout victory over West United. Westport deserve credit for sticking at the task because they trailed for a significant portion of the game following Keith Lee's early goal for West United. But right at the end of normal time, Philip Keegan headed home James O'Donnell's corner, and from then to the finish, in extra time. Penalties always appeared to be on the cards. That's what eventually transpired, and ultimately it's the Mayo team who advance to the Connacht Junior Cup Final following a penalty shootout win over West United. We thank you all for joining us. We sincerely thank Vincent O'Connor for providing this streaming service, a service that has given Galway football people an opportunity to watch Galway United and Galway WFC in recent weeks, and his valuable service is worthy of the utmost respect. He's been assisted by Robbie Crosby, Stephen Naughton and Mark McDonough High here in the Eamonn Deacy Park gantry, and Westport United are the team that advance to the Connacht Junior Cup Final following this penalty shootout win over West United. We thank you all for joining us throughout the afternoon. Slán Táma.
Landis, local like you. Landis, local like you. Landis, local like you.